Domestic minor sexual trafficking, or DMST, is an emerging area of focus for child abuse prevention experts. It's a $32 billion annual business that ensnares more than 100,000 American children each year. It is modern-day slavery and bondage where forced labor creates commercial sexual exploitation. A 2007 law in Maryland helped to protect the victims by creating legal definitions to assist law enforcement. The victim being 17 years of age and under is critical, as it does not require proof of force, fraud, or coercion to be identified as trafficking. The commercial aspect of the Sexual Exploitation Act is critical to separating the crime of trafficking from sexual assault, rape, or molestation crimes against children. Commercial Sex Act is defined as the giving and receiving of anything of value, money, drugs, shelter, food, clothing, etc., to any person in exchange for a sex act and can be given to or received by any person. According to the Department of Human Resources Protocol, child sex trafficking is a reportable offense even if the offender is not the youth's primary caregiver. As a mandated reporter, traffickers or pimps must be reported to Child Protective Services when they have victimized a child 17 years of age and under. Forensic pediatrician Dr. Sharon Cooper, who worked at Fort Bragg for years and has seen thousands of children who have been sexually abused and sexually trafficked, has stated that a child who is sexually abused is 11 times more vulnerable of being sexually trafficked. Here are other risk factors that contribute to the vulnerability of children being sexually trafficked: history of physical abuse, neglect, substance abuse, runaway, mental health diagnoses, developmentally delayed, homelessness, cognitively impaired, LGBTQ, poverty, victim and witness to violence. It's important for professionals to enforce the changing of the language and not fall into the trap of labeling by incorrectly identifying DMST as a child prostitute, which places blame on the child rather than the offender. When interviewing an individual who has been sexually trafficked, it is important to know the lingo, but never initiate the usage of the lingo, because survivors and champions state that this makes the interviewer look like they know more than the survivor champion who has experienced this lifestyle. It is important to know that when a forensic interview is being conducted of a child who has been sexually trafficked, there is typically significant resistance due to many factors, such as fear, threat of harm by pimp trafficker, and distrust in professionals. The forensic interviewer must be patient, understanding, knowledgeable, and skilled about obtaining information from an adolescent who has been coerced, manipulated, tricked, and/or forced into trafficking by an adult whom they might have trusted. It's critical that domestic minor sexual trafficking victims are identified and begin the journey for justice and healing. You can play a big part.